go, it's recording. 4.6. Oh, so it's only using 4% of the CPU at 30 frames per second. We don't need that much anyway, so it's pretty good. So it's not really going to be taxing on the CPU. Anyway, guys and girls, welcome back to another video of mine. And on this particular episode, I just want to show you in video form some of my photos I've been using or taking pictures of while using the Sony camera, the Alpha 16-300. This is 4K camera. I've been taking some pictures between, I'd say 20 megapixel to 24. Some of them are 24 megapixel. The highest resolution is around 24 megapixel. Apparently the video on the Alpha 6300 4K is actually a 6K camera, but it downscales to 4K only, so it gives it a better image quality on it. Now, I am going to go over to, because I'm using OBS 23.0.164-bit, untitled at the moment, because, well, I will be titling it at the end of this video. Anyway, so what we're going to do, we're going to bring up the first image. There we go, guys and girls. First image, very, very clear. I think this was the 16 to 50mm camera lens. Actually, this is, show have a look. It's on here. Second. Optical steady shot, 3.5 to 5.6, 16-50 Sony lens. So this picture particularly here, just here, I took with the same camera and also with the lens that came with the camera, which is the 16 to 50mm. Very good rich colours there. You can see where it's blurred out the background quite a bit there, and gives that nice sort of shallowy look of a depth of field. So it makes the back look wider open, while the subject in front looks way closer to me. So because it is closer to me, but the back looks much wider. Now, this is a fantastic photo. I've done this one myself. I had to go on to use my phone to look up myself on it to do the photo and all that, and I am going to get to the next picture for you quickly, guys and girls. There's a picture of my mum on there. There we go. You can see the picture blown out at the background there as well, where it's I think the pictures, because they're 24 megapixel, I think that works out 24 million pixels or something, so that's quite a lot, but I think I was using roughly 20 megapixels, because you can choose which megapixels you want, all the way down to 3 megapixel, 12 I think as well on there, but you have to go into the settings somewhere around it. Anyway, so this is actually number 2. That's the picture of my mum. You can see the bokeh at the background, like you did on a slight shallowy look on the last one. So basically, the first one here, you can see a slight bokeh at the back, and you can see where the light's there. This was taken in Sainsbury's, this particular picture here, but you can in the cafe part, and you can see the actual picture. But that's the 16-50 one. Now, if I click on this one here, I believe this one was either the 35mm. I think this might be the 35mm lens. Let's have a look. This one I'm using at the moment is the Meike. Where is it? There we go. The Meike or Meike camera lens. It's a cheapo lens, but it does exactly the job that you want it to. I'm also using a 50mm, which is a prime lens. The 35 is a prime lens, and it's a portrait lens. This is absolutely amazing. I believe I took it at around, it's hard to tell now. I think either 1600 or 800 ISO, and I think the f-stops, the focal stops on it, I think was around 2.5 to 2.8. F 2.8 might be, actually I might have opened this wider actually at 1.7, because the lowest you can go on here, if you can, I don't know if you can see it. Right, you got 8 to 22, and then you got the, if you go all the way down here and you go to here, you can see it's a 1.7, and then you got the next one which is like 2, then you got 2.8, so I think it was roughly around 2.8. That's to have the actual picture, well, the actual shutter open as wide as much as you can to try and let as much light as you can in. But then you're actually, if you got the ISO too high, it's going to be too bright. So you need to try and sort of balance it out a little bit. And I think I was recording at around 50th of a second. I could have gone lower to around about 10th of a second. Looks okay-ish. But yeah, guys and girls, let us know in the comments below, if you're photographers yourself, what settings you would recommend for stuff like this, portraits. But I went for 1/50th of a second, I thought that on both of them. So on this one and this one, that was, I mean, this one's much richer and it's much cleaner. I would say this is much cleaner. This one looks okay. It's a bit too bright, I would say. I would have said the ISO was a little bit higher, not too much, because you can see where it's like kind of sort of highish. I could have turned it down slowly and closed the shutter, the actual lens a little bit. Anyway, let's go to picture number 3. Now, this is good. There's quite a lot of light. To be honest, I should have just used the light from the actual home base area, because I took this in home base. As you can see at the back, sort of like the counter and all that, it's pretty much like blurred out quite a bit at the back with the bokeh, but you can still see a fair bit of detail. So I could have put that maybe at around, I could have got maybe away with F11 or F9, maybe F8, and then bulked up the ISO a little bit. I would have said probably around about 1600 or 800 roughly, just so I could get a little bit extra light, and then had it at 1/10th of a second to take this photo. Actually, I think I took this at 1/10th of a second, and this is the, I'm trying to think if because I brought my 50mm lens, which is actually 4 frame. So there's no cuts and no dice and all that with it. So this one I've also recorded on my OBS as well. I'm turning this into a movie. I could have lessened it down. I actually shoot with RAW, so I should have really just tried and toned down the ISO a little tiny bit, like tweaked it a little bit, and the contrast a little bit, so it's just perfect. But it should be, I mean, I'm looking on my screen right now, and it seems okay-ish, I would say. But yeah, let us know in the comments below, guys and girls, what you guys and girls think of it. I'm just getting more into it. So yeah, so the next one, if I can get to the next image. So let's go to image number 4. If I can get there. And on image number 4. Now, here's a little bit of a close-up, but this one sort of vertically downwards. So that means I turned the camera sideways to the side, so it was facing down, so you got a nice sort of like streak, and it's blurred out at the background as well, just to give that nice sort of further away texture at the background, but the image of the subject is quite close in, because I got quite close up with that, and I think that was at around 50mm as well. I didn't use my 35 with this one because I kept changing lenses, so I did different like sort of different versions of it, of my mum and all that. This is my mum, using her as the sort of the model subject in this. So just to give you a good sort of depth on it. And actually both my lenses, the 35 and the 50, I think the 50mm was around about 90 quid. The 35mm was roughly, I'm going to say roughly around about 80 quid. To be honest, you could have paid a hell of a lot more for these lenses, for the 35 and 50, and people would still buy into it because it's a good, decent lens for the price. If you want a low budget lens, this I would actually recommend. The 50 is good because it's much deeper than the 35. I would say the 35 gives a nice sort of background because it's wider open. It's not ultra wide, but it's wide. If you want to go ultra wide, I'd say I was thinking maybe a 12mm to like sort of 8, between 8. I mean, you can get away with a 10 to 20mm because that's wide and ultra wide, so you can actually turn it. But because I'm using Sony, I don't know if the 10 to 20mm is actually an E version as well, because I got mine from, I think it was Sigma. So that was for my Nikon camera, and that was brilliant. Actually, the quality on it is brilliant. But yeah, that looks quite cool. I like that picture. A little bit bright as well. I could still tone down the brightness a little bit and tweaked it a little bit, but it's okay-ish because I need a lot of light, and there's a lot of light on the face. You can see a little tiny little bit of redness in there as well. In the cheeks, in the cheekbones, you can see the redness. So yeah, it's quite cool. I like it. So if we go to number 5 now. Now, here is the Parish Pump. This is up by Sainsbury's. This is, I believe, is a sort of like a pub, sort of pub for all kinds of stuff, drinking or getting food and all that kind of stuff there. But I do like this picture. I kind of tweaked the colours a little bit, sharpened up the colours, and I went in to sharpen it as well, just to take off, because it was kind of a bit blurry, so I kind of tweaked it a little bit. But yeah, it looks good. I mean, with photos, when you're doing photography anyway, it's always best to try and alter it a little bit as well. If you got raw, the sky, to be honest, it was a bit greyish out there today. Out inside, it was quite white. But I'm still trying to perfect the sky as well with it, and sometimes it's hard to try and balance the white balance, also with ISO and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, let's go to the next picture a second. And where is it? 6 now. Where is it? Right, so here we go. We've got Factory Bargains. This is by Whirl as well, Sainsbury's area. It's a little cheapo store there. They sell furniture in there. If you haven't been in it, guys and girls, I do recommend. We had a bit of a look around in there today. And yeah, you can see the storefront there at the front. You can see where the doors are open. You can see some there's some jeans there and all that. And I kind of tweaked the colours on that just to give it a nice, rich sort of look on it. And you can see the floor as well, where the ground is, and the little sort of pebble, like sort of walkway there. And also, if you look where the walls as well, you can see the nice red, browny coloured sort of wall right next to the Factory Bargains on the corner bit there where the windows are. So that looks quite nice. It looks authentic, and also I notice sometimes with the side as well, it goes a bit blurry on the edges. The edges are a little tiny bit blurred out. So I don't know. It's a cheapo lens, so I'm just working what I got with at the moment. I mean, I could probably retuck that picture and made it a lot better, made it sharper. But I think to this standard, there's nothing really much you can do unless you've got a £2,000, £3,000 lens. With £3,000 lenses, you're going to get some good decent sort of bokeh, you're going to get some good decent sharpness, you're going to get some good decent sort of zooming in and good textures out of it, and hardly any blur in it at all. But with cheapo lenses, there is some like sort of flaws to it and non-flaws to it, sometimes with the edges and all that. But anyway, let us know in the comments what you guys and girls think of these pictures. I'm going to be adding some more up in the next probably couple of days. So I'm going to be taking this lens with me as well, and the 3 lenses. And I've also going to be trying to do some pictures with this, what's it called? This one is the, I think this is the 55 to 210, and it also goes it goes from 55, 70, 100, 135, 210, and I'll start doing some sort of videos on that. But anyway, guys and girls, leave a like, share, comment, subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. I'm trying to get into photography. I'm trying to get a little bit better at it. But yeah, anyway, cheers for watching. I'm using the audio at the moment on the laptop just to try and do a quick video here, and also upload this with the pictures in. But if you like it, cheers for watching, guys and girls. Stay safe, and I'll see you on the next episode.